Chinese state media aired footage that shows China's Navy conducting live fire drills at sea during second day of the military exercises near Taiwan. The video shows Navy personnel firing guns and unmanned drones from aboard a vessel to simulate strikes against Taiwan. The country is also holding live fire drills today. China has said that the fighter jets carrying live ammunition had conducted simulated strikes near Taiwan, and its Shandong aircraft carrier was involved in the ongoing exercises. China began the military exercises around the island on Saturday, the day after Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen returned from a brief visit to the United States. In response, China's military drills, Taiwan's armed forces too released footage of forces carrying out exercises. The video shows Taiwan's Army, Navy and Air Force conducting drills as well as monitoring Chinese vessel movements. Taiwan's fighter jets today as well as were seen taking off and landing at an airbase in the island's north as Chinese drills enter the third day. Protests have broken out in cities like New York and Boston in the United States to express their disapproval of the new abortion pill ruling. A Texas federal judge on Friday overruled decades of scientific approval of a widely used abortion pill. This has created alarm and confusion for countless number of Americans who insist that availability must be guaranteed. After the Texas judge's ruling, a Washington state judge directed federal officials not to hinder access to drugs in dozens of U.S. states. This issue will likely be settled by U.S. Supreme Court, which last year repealed Roe v. Wade, the 1973 landmark Supreme Court decision that had established a constitutional right to abortions in the United States. Two police officers fatally shot during a traffic stop on Saturday in Wisconsin village in the United States. A suspect who was taken to the hospital also died later. The circumstances that led up to the shooting have not been provided. The Wisconsin Department of Justice has said in a statement that it was investigating this particular incident. In another shooting incident in the United States, 3 people were shot and injured in a Delaware mall on Saturday. The incident forced the shoppers to evacuate the mall. Delaware State Police said authorities do not have a suspect in custody, but they are investigating the shooting incident. The incident adds to the growing list of gun crimes in the United States. Places like Nashville, Pennsylvania, Texas, South Carolina have witnessed such attacks recently. Hundreds of mourners attended the funeral of 2 British-Israeli sisters in West Bank who were killed in a Palestinian shooting attack on Friday. Their mother was also seriously wounded in the attack. The incident came amid soaring tensions between Israel and Palestine over the last week after an Israeli raid on Al-Aqsa Mosque. Following this, militants in Lebanon fired 34 rockets at Israel in a major barrage, sparking retaliatory strikes and hours later. The 2 British-Israeli sisters were killed, followed by another attack on foreign nationals in Israel on Friday. The tensions this week have been capped by cross-border strikes between Syria and Israel after 6 rockets were launched by the latter towards Israel. Thousands of Jewish worshippers prayed at the Western Wall on Sunday morning in a special Mass priestly blessing which takes place during the holiday of Passover. The Mass Passover benediction at Jewish sacred site began after dawn. Ramadan prayers at the adjacent Al-Aqsa Mosque compound ended peacefully after days of heightened tensions. Tensions are running especially high as Ramadan and Passover coincide, with a focus on the Al-Aqsa compound in Jerusalem's walled old city. And Saudi and Omani delegations held talks with Iran-backed Houthi officials in Yemen's capital Sana'a on Sunday. This as Riyadh seeks a permanent ceasefire to end its military involvement in the country's long-running war. The visit indicates progress in Oman-mediated consultations between Riyadh and Sana'a, which run in parallel to the UN peace efforts. The peace initiatives have gained momentum after arch-rival Saudi Arabia and Iran agreed to establish ties in a deal brokered by China. Yemen's war is seen as one of the major proxy battles between Iran and Saudi Arabia. Two bodies found in the rubble of a building that collapsed in southern French city of Marseille following a major explosion. This according to the fire department. 5 people were injured in neighboring buildings which were damaged by the collapse, while 8 people who are missing thought to be under the rubble. Interior Minister stated that 30 buildings in the area were evacuated and an 8th center for people who were looking for missing family members was also set up in a neighboring district. The cause of the explosion has not been revealed yet. About 140 people were evacuated in the German city of Hamburg after a fire broke out in a storage facility. The storage facility is suspected to be housing chemicals, following which the toxins in the air due to smoke from the fire site is not yet ruled out. The fire is said to be the largest firefighting operation in the past 10 years. No casualties have currently been reported. Hundreds of people marched in the center of the Georgian capital Tbilisi on Sunday in support of ex-president and country's pro-European course. The protest was organized by the opposition party, United National Movement, founded by the ex-president in 2001. Protesters accused the current Georgian government of being controlled by Moscow and demanded the release of Saakashvili, who is serving a 6-year sentence for abuse of power. But his supporters say that his conviction was politically motivated. Around 300 demonstrators from opposition parties waved Tunisian flags and carried signs with the images of detainees at the rally organized by the main opposition coalition, the National Salvation Front. Since early February, authorities in North African country have arrested more than 20 political opponents and personalities, including politicians, former ministers, businessmen, trade unionists, and the owner of Tunisia's most popular radio station. Local and international rights groups have criticized these arrests. A group of Venezuelans burnt in effigy the apostle who betrayed Jesus in an Easter time ritual on Sunday. However, this ritual took a political turn as well, as the effigy included 4 heads with images of politicians, including Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro and the country's former Tariq el-Aissami. In March, Maduro ordered a crackdown on corruption inside the PDVSA, Venezuelan state-owned oil and natural gas company. This has led to a number of arrests of top officials and businessmen accused of stealing oil shipments. The allegations prompted the resignation of el-Aissami, a key figure in the government's efforts to evade US oil sanctions. India is projected to become the world's most populous country with over 1.4 billion people sometime in the second half of this month. According to United Nations projections, with this, India will overtake China as the most populous country. India's 2011 census had put the country's population at 1.21 billion, meaning the country has added 210 million to its population in 12 years. However, India has managed to control its population growth, with the total national fertility rate falling before the replacement level, that is at 2. Meanwhile, China's population dropped by roughly 850,000 at the end of 2022. The drop in population has caused domestic demographers to worry that China will get old before it gets rich, slowing the economy as revenues drop and government's debt increases to take care of a rapidly aging population. Amid a surge in COVID-19 cases in India, the central government has planned nationwide mock drills on Monday and Tuesday. This is to assess the readiness of the government and private hospitals. Mock COVID preparedness drills are underway in 3 cities, Chennai, Patna and in Haryana as well. Indian Health Minister will visit All Indian Institute of Medical Sciences University in Haryana's Jhajjar today to oversee the mock drills. India has also recorded 5,880 cases in the last 24 hours. The total number of active cases, that's risen to 35,199. Four people have been killed while 9 people have been injured in an avalanche in the French Alps on Sunday. The local deputy mayor has confirmed that 2 of the dead were mountain guides. Several injured people have been taken to a hospital. 2 are still missing. President Emmanuel Macron has said that the rescue services are continuing to search for further casualties and that his thoughts were with the victims and their families. Brazilian President Lula da Silva flew over areas affected by flooding in the country on a Sunday. Surrounded by officials, da Silva visited a shelter where he talked with people displaced due to flooding that have submerged homes, houses and streets here. He visited the state, which is one of the poorest in the country, and at least 53 cities there have been declared in a state of emergency. According to officials, almost 36,000 families have been affected by floods and nearly 8,000 have been displaced or left without a home. Since March, heavy rain have left 6 people dead in the country. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi marked the 50th anniversary of Project Tigers as he visited tiger reserves in southern India on Sunday. He launched the International Big Cats Alliance, which aims to nurture 7 species of big cats, including lions, tigers, leopards and cheetahs. Indian Prime Minister was also seen feeding and petting elephants at the Madumalai Tiger Reserve's elephant camp. With the current population of 2,967, India is home to about 70% of the global tiger population in the wild. Tiger population in the country is increasing at an annual rate of 6%. In a fun Easter egg hunt, a scuba Easter bunny hid real hard-boiled eggs in waters of Key Largo, Florida on Sunday. This was done for divers and snorkelers to find a fun Easter egg hunt. The hunt took place in Florida Key National Marine Sanctuary. It is one of the largest marine protected areas in the United States. The underwater bunny was Spencer Slate. It wore a bunny suit over diving gear and hosts the underwater Easter egg hunt to raise money for children in need. Over 800 couples got married together in South Africa on Easter Sunday, one of the biggest mass weddings since COVID-19 pandemic. Mass marriages in the Pentecost Church in South Africa take place thrice a year. It also incidentally allows polyamorous unions, which the church says are authorized by the Bible. The church, located near Johannesburg, has a membership of approximately 300 million. This makes it one of the biggest congregations in South Africa. Hong Kong streets splashed and soaked in Thai New Year traditions for the first time since the coronavirus pandemic began. The area called Little Bangkok of the city celebrated the New Year without restrictions on Sunday. Crowds of all ages sprayed people with water guns, hoses, bowls of water for hours. Some people passers-by with traditional Thai blessings as well.